one last Kickstarter here.
All right.
Yeah, Cthulhu Death May Die. Now, I added this one in right at the end, just as we were about to go forth, because, well, it's one I've been very excited for a while.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Ben, can you give us a brief overview here?
Yeah, sure. So this is Cthulhu Death May Die. This is by Simon. It's designed by Rob Davio, which is a massive name in the board game world, and of course Eric Lang. So I'm sure Justin's on board for playing one of these games. It works as a cooperative game for between 1 to 5 players, and you are playing as cultists who are summoning one of the Elder Gods, and you have to try. Well, sorry, you're trying to stop the cultists who are disrupting, who are putting together a ritual. So you're going to be playing as the investigators who are going in there to try and stop the cultists from getting these things together and summoning these horrible beasts to the tabletop. So yeah, it's a game that, once again, when it comes to CMON, features a whole bunch of incredible, interesting miniatures. So if you like the idea of your massive miniatures, you've certainly got something to look at there. Also got really nicely finely detailed heroes and everything like that. So yeah, if you like the idea of Cthulhu and that kind of thing with a little bit of a twist, then there's some really nice options for you to get stuck into here with this game from CMON. So
Yeah.
Now, yes,
I don't know what it is about Eric Lang games. I've said it before. Eric, I love your work, mate. You do gorgeous stuff. I just cannot win your games. Whatever way you work out your mathematics just does not gel with my brain.
No. As Ben noted, the miniatures for this game are fantastic. There are some really cool interpretations of classic Lovecraftian monsters, including 2 of the great old ones themselves, Cthulhu and Hastur, the King in Yellow. I think they're the main 2. Actually, there is one particular model I wanted to bring up, and I put the link into the article we wrote on it.
Well, this?
Yeah, if you go down, this is a Kickstarter exclusive add-on of Cthulhu.
Ah, I see.
And if you want to see just how big it is, if you scroll down a little further...
What?
Yeah!
That is no longer a miniature, that is now officially a bigature.
A bigature?
Yes.
Okay.
It's an official term used by Weta Workshop. No, it's an official term used by Weta Workshop.
Wow.
And
Okay.
probably other
Bigature. It is now.
And probably other movie companies and companies in general out there.
Well,
holy hell! Who decides to make a Cthulhu the size of a small child?
Never mind that. Who decides to introduce their child to Cthulhu?
That kid looks like she wants to hug it.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
That, or she's looking at it going, is that cake? Can I eat that?
Yeah. Okay.
Never mind hug a hoodie.
Yeah.
Cthulhu.
Hug Cthulhu. That's all he wants. Cthulhu wants a hug. Now, I do actually have one hesitation
Okay.
about this game.
Okay.
Now, if you bring up the Kickstarter, one of the important things about this, if you go up a bit...
Where am I going to here?
Yeah, just go up. There you go. Those
These?
ones. Now, you see, each of your investigators at the beginning start off with a diagnosable madness. Now, in Lovecraft and Lovecraft games, we all know the Race to San Zero. It can be a lot of fun. Madness is usually depicted in very broad terms.
Yes.
Yeah, very much the, oh no, I've lost my mind.
Yeah, I'm going a bit wibbly.
Yeah. Whereas, unlike real mental health. Now, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing that they have gone back and they are showing real mental health things. So your investigator can have OCD, mania, be psychotic, all these traits. And depending on how mad you are, you draw power from your own mental illness. Now, I'm a little iffy about this. I myself have OCD.
Yes.
So whenever I see OCD... Sorry, I'm going to be getting a little serious here, guys. When I see OCD, or even any other mental illness depicted in a pop culture setting, if we especially go here, you'll see that he's just the guy very carefully counting his pens.
Yeah, and you can really see the stress levels coming through on the face there, same for the other characters.
That's not my problem here. Yes, that is OCD, but that is a form of OCD, and because that is the only version of OCD people see people develop OCD and then think they don't know what they have. But my major problem here is that by going more mad, you are gaining more power. So you're getting a positive from the mental illness. I can tell you, OCD has never been a positive in my life.
See, the problem we have here is this is an abstraction for a game mechanic's sake, and I can completely understand where you're coming from, Sam, that it is a serious thing. Mental health is nothing to joke about. I'm going to say that right now and be very clear on it. But there are some times whenever you have to represent something like that within a game, and I don't know, maybe this one wasn't executed perfectly, but I can see what they're trying to do with it. They're trying to give a reference point to actually give an ability to your character. Maybe something to be looked at for a little bit of a redesign. I'm not sure what the kickback on this has been so far, the feedback has been so far, but I agree with yourself that it's maybe not the best executed way to actually do this.
It is nice to see something moving away from the whole generic
generically
thing of madness. Oh, my underpants are on my head, 2 pencils are up my nose, and I only speak a wibble. But
well, that sounds like a usual Friday night for us.
Yeah, true enough. But I don't know. It is something I'd have to see when it comes to the game itself, because I love my Lovecraftian fiction. I want to see how it goes. But something about this does rub me up the wrong way.
Yeah,
it's something that's popped up in other games, and it's been a discussion amongst board gaming and tabletop gaming for a couple of years now. Especially now we're starting to look at things in a lot more detail and trying to take other people's feelings and experiences into account when we design stuff going forward. But for example, in Time Stories, one of the first setting for that is in an asylum, and it takes very like overused tropes of what madness is and that kind of thing, and it almost stereotypes it in a way, and it gives that kind of feeling that you were talking about there, Sam, about sort of what mental illness is all about in popular culture and how it's ill perceived by other people and that kind of thing. And so I think with something like this, it has to be done with a very delicate touch. And if this comes across and it works well, then that's fine, but they've also got to take into account that it will obviously, make some people feel unsettled about this kind of thing as well. So.
I will say I'm all for exploring mental health questions in games. I think there actually needs to be more exploration, more awareness. It just needs to be done carefully.
Yeah. Well, the question I would have is, for any game developer who's actually considering putting something like this into your game, is the one question you always need to ask yourself is, are you dealing with the topic in a respectful manner? Are you going to have people sit down and look at it and not get what you're trying to put on the tabletop? And it's something to be very careful of.
Do you want to know what is actually one of the best pop culture depictions of OCD I've ever seen?
Go ahead.
That was actually in Scrubs.
Scrubs? Okay.
Yeah. Of all the things.
No, I'm not a fan of the show, I'm going to say that right now.
In Scrubs, there is a doctor who turns up with OCD, and it depicts him. He has the very stereotypical OCD. He has to do everything 3 times. He washes his hands after everything. And when it brings him in, this is not a form of OCD I have, so I can't comment too much on that. But when it brings him in, it does play all these points for laughs.
Yes.
Which is how, until this point, I was used to seeing it depicted in pop culture. I would see someone with OCD come in and depicted as quirky. Until the end of that episode, where it shows him unable to go home because he's trapped in one of his own obsessive compulsive cycles. And you actually see, oh wait, this thing I've been giggling at as quirky this whole time is actually tormenting him in some way.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look, this is a weak moment. Nobody's supposed to see this. And mark my words, I'll clean up the soap. Probably several thousand times.
And it recognizes that there's elements of the mental illness that is ridiculous. And people with mental illness, we know it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we like to joke about it too. But it does also recognize, holy hell, this guy's going through hell.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's... Okay, this is me getting serious for a minute.
Yeah.
From the outside, someone without mental health issues, trying to look at someone with mental health issues, has no reference point. It's like trying to speak to someone in a completely different language.
Yeah.
You have no reference point to ever understand what that person's going through. So even if you do think it's quirky, it's funny, it's okay, oh, you're suffering this, that, the other, just pick yourself up. It is not like that for anybody. Each person inside their own head, you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. I tend to be very outspoken about my OCD because every time I bring it up, someone contacts me going, wait, this is a thing? So, yeah. Sorry to bring things down on a very serious level. It's a discussion.
It's an important thing to talk about, especially in the sense of like games and how we perceive these kind of things. So I'm glad that you talked about it, Sam.
Yeah. Yeah, it is an important one, but it's not an issue we're going to be solving on the weekend.
No. It's an issue that will possibly never be solved. Just because it's the way it is.
Well, we'll see how things go moving forward. I am still very excited to see more of Death May Die. I love the models. I love the idea of the gameplay.
Yeah.
I want to see how it goes.
The designers on the game are fabulous.
Oh yeah, superb. Anyway, moving on from that, we have another interview in store for you.
Yes, this is the one that I've been looking forward to. So I'm going to sit down very quickly with James Baldwin to give everybody an update on what's happening with the Drowned Earth, the Kickstarter, the retail launch, organised play, lots of good stuff. We'll be back in a sec.